Thanks, Jove. I was actually on a run that was definitely on pace. I got my 57 run the other day, and I lost a minute and a half dying at the very last area for no reason. And then just a few moments ago, I was on pace, and I wasn't checking my experience, and I was one enemy off before going towards the final boss rush. No slime spawn. One is good. It was pretty unfortunate. Like, I'm glad nobody was watching at that time because it was a little embarrassing. Because all I had to do was look down. I'd like to get a sub 56, and then I think I'm done with at least this category. And Big 20 is pretty soon. Will probably take up my time, assuming the list of games is something I enjoy playing. I am getting a better pace each time. I keep finding small improvements. Just different places to use Warp Boost, different places to use Wild Warp. I want to get into this cave before 1 minute and 55 seconds on the timer if possible. So close. I took more damage than I should have, but... Now we have to break a windmill, which for some reason opens a cave, and that gives us the only healing spell in the game. Normally you're not supposed to open the menu unless you absolutely have to, because it takes a significant amount of time in this game. But I've pretty much resigned myself to needing to use refresh in this cave. I almost always get hit by one of these little pink blob things. Like that. And then I get poisoned, which isn't a game ender. But it's not great. It doesn't matter if I'm poisoned twice. In this game, it's pretty infuriating that the enemy hitboxes don't match their sprites. They're just on a totally separate layer. And so you can be standing next to an enemy, not get hit, but still get poisoned. And now we warp, and the hardest part of the game is done. There we go. So we had to get a statue, give it to that guy, he gives us a gas mask, which lets us go into a poison forest, which lets us go to an area full of dwarven rabbits that live beyond this place, but we can't talk to them. So we have to work back to the town we were just at, travel north until we find a bald wise man who can teach us telepathy if we beat him in a stick fighting contest. And in this game, telepathy lets you talk to animals. It's a pretty convoluted path through here, but it gets you the fire sword, so we're going to do it. But we're not going to fight him. Instead, we're going to warp directly to Leaf, which for some reason triggers victory. I'm going to fill up our magic. And now that we have telepathy, we warp back to Oak with the dwarven rabbits. And now they'll talk to us. And she is missing her son, who is in the poison forest, which if I lived next to a poison forest would be the very first place I'd look. We go back to Oak. He goes home, and we get a fire sword. And normally, this is where we would go fight a giant bug, but instead we are going to glitch the game out with the Wild Warp. And skip ahead quite a bit. Now I can't open the menu because I'm using something called a orb glitch. If you have an orb selected for 1, 2, 3, 4, if you have an orb selected for a sword, it lets you charge it up to level 2, which in this game lets you progress through the story by breaking rock walls or ice walls with the fire sword. We didn't pick up the fire orb, so we're making it think we did by resetting the game while we have the fire sword and the wind orb equipped. So as long as we do not open our menu, then we're good. Break down an ice wall. And you see me skipping by a bunch of enemies here because I can't damage any of them because I am not high enough level. And the reason we're skipping ahead is that in this game, each of the swords does slightly more damage than the last. And since there's so much grinding, you can actually save about 2 minutes in a grinding session to level 7 by getting the water sword. Now here's the second hardest part in the game, these two right here. I die in 2 hits with no armor against these guys. And they don't stop moving except to fire. Okay, got the Sword of Water. We immediately teleport and get the Orb of Water. Now we're going to teleport and sell those shields that we bought earlier using the 5-finger discount, which lets us buy the second best armor in the game. Now let's set a story trigger and a warp setting for our warp boots for much later in the game. Save our game, reset, continue, and now we go back to the gas forest. And now we can kill these guys in 2 hits. And because we were wearing the second best armor in the game, nothing can damage us except for projectiles. Because in this game, for some reason, armor protects you from bodily hits, and shields protect you from projectiles. So running into enemies, no problem. Axes from those guys, big problem right now. Could actually still kill me. Now that mushroom up top didn't spawn. And in this game, despawns are very, very bad because you need them for experience. And how spawning works in this game is every single enemy object takes up a space on the spawn list. And this includes their money drops. So if you don't pick up their coin, that coin can actually hold a spawn slot for a monster that you want to kill. So I don't need the money, but I have to pick it up. Because otherwise I might miss out on an enemy. This area gives you about 200 experience per minute, I think. There's one area at level 3 and level 4, which is a little bit faster, but it is much higher RNG, because the enemies can move away from you, and you have to go chase them, and then you lose all of your time save. So I stick with this one. Something pretty neat about wearing the armor that makes you invincible from bodily damage is that when you run into an enemy, they bounce you back based off the direction that they're moving. So if he's running to the left, and you bump into him from the wrong side, you'll bounce to the left as well. Which means if you run into an enemy at the right frame, you'll actually move the direction that they're moving and can fly through them very quickly. So you can use that to get some pretty neat boosts. And it'll speed up these grinding sessions, but I'm not particularly good at it. And this is the worst part in the game. It's not dangerous because none of these guys can damage me, but I have to get 1900 experience. So this is where typically Jove asks me random questions and I'll talk to him about pie or animals. And to save my thumb, I just switch back and forth between my index finger and middle finger because this grind is awful, but it's the fastest thing you can do. There is no replacement. I actually sat down and I plotted out a route specifically to get to the water sword for this moment to save as much time as I could. Because I hate doing it. It's boring to watch. It's boring to do. I'm probably the biggest roadblock to people playing this game, but casually, Crystalis is a fantastic game. I just chose this particular category for Crystalis because no one had ever done it before. And I can kind of see why, given how much the Wild Warp just kind of skips you from one grind phase to the next. But it still needs to be done. Gotta fill out the leaderboard. You like the grinding sessions, Joe? Like, they're not super bad. There's actually a little, like, micro improvements you can do, and you have to adapt to what the enemies are doing. But it's still fairly monotonous compared to the rest of the game. Now, I should not be in danger of death for the rest of the game, assuming I'm smart about what I do. You want to avoid using the N whenever possible, because using the N takes 4 seconds, plus whatever time it takes to walk to the end. But I'm not brave enough to completely skip out on the N. Crystalis does have good music. This is like top 5 best music in the NES, I think. Not this track specifically, but the game as a whole. Almost there. Come on, snowman. Explode a little bit faster. I watched a tool-assisted speedrun of the Wild Warp run, hoping that he had a solution to this. He goes straight here, the moment he can. He's like, I'm gonna go kill snowmen now. And once we kill these guys, we get to do the Medusa grind, which is very short and very dangerous. Good thing. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Now I gotta hope I don't get poisoned. If I kill all 3 of these, it saves me exactly 1 kill on a Medusa. There we go. So the hitboxes on these things are awful. They're just giant squares. They don't match their sprite at all, and it's a little bit lower than what their actual sprite is. So you can see I'm barely touching them with my sword, and they're flying up. And any percent, which you can see Dragon Dark do. He is not wearing the second best armor in the game at this point, and these guys kill him in 3 hits and he has to do this. It's not a fun grind. Okay, and that gold caused a despawn, which isn't great. That's okay. That was a good boost. We did not go at those guys head on. Yeah, I improved on this grinding path a little bit, so it's going a lot faster now that I know how they spawn. Okay, 2 more. And now we go to Portoa. It kind of is a kamikaze grinding attempt. That was wrong. Don't get poisoned. Okie dokie. And spiders with the second worst hitbox in the game. You see me switching from sword to sword based off the enemy. Different enemies are invulnerable to different swords. So it's not like you're weak against one sword and strong against another. It's just which swords can actually damage you. Okay, being paralyzed is not good here. But now I'm poisoned, which is normally bad, but they only allow for 1 status effect in this game. So in this case, poison is good. In this game, if you are paralyzed like that, I hate these spiders. If you're paralyzed, you cannot charge your weapon, which means you can't break the walls that you need to move on. I need a little bit more experience. I need 23 or so. Okay, more than enough. Poison me, please. Thank you. Yeah, these guys don't actually do that much damage, so I can just run into them hoping to get poisoned. I hate that. If you're not far enough forward, then it won't explode. And I was just a few pixels off, it looks like. And the reason you see me running into enemies and then dying is that when you press the attack button, it actually completely turns off your previous attack. The hitbox just instantly disappears. And it pulls out a new one, but there's a slight delay when you swing your sword. Ortoa. Four there. You can only charge your weapon while you're standing still, but the game only checks if you're standing still every 4 frames. So if you stutter stuff like this, you can actually move forward a little bit. Worst case scenario, thanks for the good luck, 6th place. I'm on pretty good pace right now. I'm on a boat now. Look at me. Look. Okay, up to Kinsu. And let's call our dolphin friend Jerry Flipper. And we go to this zombie town. And it triggers just a story marker. Now we get ourselves the love pendant. And go immediately to another brief grinding session. Want to kill this guy and this guy. And that saves you from having to enter the cave for one loop. So let's see, what do I do next? So I kill these guys for a little bit and get to level 11. And then I have to kind of travel backwards once I get the change spell. In this game there are three bows. A bow of moon, bow of sun, and bow of truth. The game tells you directly that you need the bow of truth. It doesn't say a word about the bow of sun, doesn't say a word about the bow of moon. At all. But you get to the very last dungeon and there's 2 giant cat statues that shoot fireballs at you very quickly, faster than any other enemy in the game. They'll kill you and you can't damage them in any way, except for using those bows, which immediately destroys them. But the game doesn't tell you about them. Yeah, the dolphin's like way faster. It's very sloppy compared to like normally walking. Your hurt box is kind of weird. You're just a floating disembodied body, I guess. Is disembodied body the right nomenclature? You're very fast. Your sword hitbox doesn't quite match your sword, and the jellyfish have a hitbox that is farther beneath them than it is above them. So attacking from the bottom can be dangerous. And we are actually skipping large sections of this game. One part of the game that you always skip is the second boss in the game. Her dungeon is like this giant maze full of enemies that poison you, and lots of rock walls you have to get through. Yeah, it's not just you. It's everybody. The dolphin's fun because he's fast. I'm very grateful he's fast because it speeds up this grinding session. But he's a little hard to control compared to just walking around. There's a pixel off there. Yeah. Tedious is a good word for it, Sick Plays. Like, you actually don't mind it after, like, the first time you play through. I don't know why, but I kind of phase out and just start doing this automatically. And I just talk to chat about random stuff. But it's the name of the game. There's actually lots of tiny things you can do to do this better, and since the grinding sessions are so long compared to most of the other stuff, you generally have the most time to save in grinding sessions. And we already did that. There's a little bit of a late split, but that's okay. Now we got change. We go back to having this equipped, the shell flute, which calls us the dolphin. This is the last time we're using the dolphin to get barrier. And here we are going back to fight the very first boss in the game. Oh no. Yeah, he's not very hard now. Got our rabbit boots. Don't need to kill him because he doesn't help us at all. Now we get our first shield. Change ourselves into a lady, because this is the Amazon town, and they do not like men here. Now we're going to Shiren, and this is the start of the last arc of the game. Oh, and I already got all that stuff. A little bit of a late split, but that's fine. That was probably a gold, actually. Didn't want to do that. And now we go here to fill up our mana, because it's right there, it's on the way. And we do this. That was a mistake. Every once in a while my controller will do that. Okay, so I am full up on magic rings, which fill up your magic, which is going to be very important because it allows us to skip ends entirely. I think there's one more end usage I might do, because it's faster to go to the end than it is to use refresh. No, I didn't change the timing, but I don't have a foot pedal, so I just use the numpad on my keyboard. And this presents me with two problems. The first problem is that I have to take my hand off the controller to press the button. The second problem is that my USB controller is connected via micro USB in the back of the controller. The result of that is that occasionally I bump my controller into the desk, and it kind of unplugs a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't worth killing that bird. I forgot how much experience he gives you, but not much. Not in comparison to Bob. Wait, we want barrier right now. This is the Bob grind. This is the only reason we get rabbit boots, is killing this guy. I looked and I looked and I looked, and I couldn't find you, or I couldn't find anything that was even close to killing this guy. He gives an absurd amount of experience. And you can't respawn this left guy, as far as I know, without leaving the room and coming back. The guy on the right you can respawn, but it's not nearly as fast. It's actually faster to get the rabbit boots than come here. Level 12. And I forget the exact experience number you need. It's like 15,000 something, but I tried that in my last run that got to this point, and I was maybe 100 experience away from the level I needed before getting to a boss. And if you get to a boss and you're not the right level, it just goes ding. I wasn't paying attention, just assumed that I had already hit it, and it ripped the run. So I'm gonna go to 16,000 on this guy. Whoops. Yeah, my sum of best in this is probably way off because my splits are all over the place. I actually looked on eBay for ordering a foot pedal. I found one for 10 bucks, which was pretty good. So assuming I win that bid. Although I just told 40 some odd people that there's a foot pedal on eBay for $10, so given that they're probably somewhat interested in speedrunning, that probably wasn't the best strategy. Okay, so I am good right now, but I'm gonna do one more, just in case, because I'm paranoid now. Kill slimes if they wake up. Ding. You need Windsword to damage the chameleons for whatever reason. And it doesn't take long to change swords, but it adds up. Opening the menu, closing the menu. You got little animations that go with each of them. So that guy's normally pretty good about getting up. Now we don't want to get petrified by these guys, and we don't want to get hit by the butterfly that's about to appear. These butterflies have some of the highest impact damage in the game. Let's go to Goa. Go ahead and heal up. And now we are going to start fighting some bosses. And the first boss we're going to fight is Crazy RNG Boss. This is called Mado, or Mado, however you would pronounce his name. That was a good Mado fight. Now we warp. That's a really good Mado fight, actually. Now we're going to do a sequence break that you can actually do without the wild warp. So this is another thing the developers did, which is kind of crazy. There is a ring in the game called the Power Ring, which basically doubles your attack. Don't get hit by that. But what's crazy about this is that without the power ring, you can't kill the second to last boss. And again, the developers don't tell you about it. There's no mention of the power ring whatsoever. Whoops. Actually gonna quick refresh just in case. Take this a little bit slow. And I forgot to equip the power ring, which is important. Okay, one more. Oh. This place was a maze for me as a kid. Now we fight the first boss in the game. And hope he doesn't kill us. There we go. That was actually a slow fight. Still good. Now we're going to be fighting the second boss in the game. So I'm actually doing better right now than I was in the previous run that I botched, which is pretty good. Still lost some time going from tomato to kill. I don't know where I'm losing that time. Now, the power ring, which I have equipped, you are not supposed to have right now. You can get it, but you're not supposed to have it. Kind of makes a mockery of all of these bosses. Missed a spider spawn, I don't know how. So whenever they shoot a projectile, I have to kind of spin around 2 times. Because, frustratingly, the spawn slot for those spiders are taken up by the projectile that the other spider spawns. So you lose like half to 3/4 of a second every time you see them shoot a projectile. You gotta grab the coin and gotta wait for the projectile to disappear. So I currently have the world record with 57:03, but I lost a minute and a half on the Dyna split. So if I stick on pace with my previous run and I don't die, stupidly, for no reason, then I should get around 54 minutes, give or take. Just 2 fast for that spider to spawn. Okay, I should just go on, but I'm actually going to just do this. Play it safe and just kill both spiders. And now this is a totally random spot. My run could be over right now, and it's not up to me, it's up to these shadow guys. If they shoot a paralysis attack at me, and it hits me while I'm on this, it knocks me off, and I lose a lot of time. Like that. So I lost a lot of time there. Not enough to completely end the run. It can happen once. It's unfortunate, because nothing even bad happened to me, but I was trying to be very careful because there was a shadow guy that actually stayed on screen. So I'm going to lose a lot of my lead right now. There you go. You want to get them off screen to despawn them. Ah, you got me. This might not PB now. And it sucks because 40 minutes into the run, that's when you find out whether this can stop you. Now there's one thing that can stop it, and it is a fire bracelet, but we skipped that. He tried. Now I'm gonna have to use a magic ring. Alright, don't hit me. There we go. Okay. Made it through. So, run not entirely ruined because I died my previous one. Just gotta hope I get a good NATO fight. That doesn't help. If you use your attack too early. Yeah, I lost almost a minute. Not quite. Wow. So, still on 55 pace. And so now we need this, and this, and this. Gotta paralyze the skeletons. That's okay. I'll worry about it later. And I'm actually going to do this. And that is on purpose. 1, 2. We don't care about that guy. I like how it reminds you, hey, you need barrier. So this guy has another RNG element. That was the good run of him. His big RNG element is that he has an attack that is unblockable, that he shoots straight forward, exactly where I was standing, that turns you into a little blob. And this forces you to use an item to heal yourself, which I have one of, but he can do that attack multiple times. Okay, so now we do this all the way through the world. until we get back to Shiren. Let's go ahead and recover. So this is where the Bow of Sun is hidden. And nobody tells you about it. You just kind of have to intuit for yourself that, hey, there was a direction that I couldn't go. Maybe if you explore these caves to the right, which you don't need to go into at all, if you explore them fully, maybe you'll find that one treasure chest that you can't access. And you'll say, if only I could fly. And then you'll come back once you can. Petrified. Now we can flight. Killing these guys doesn't do anything, but there's no reason not to, really. And we got our Bow of Sun. Now it's Scorpion farming time to almost level 16, but not quite. And this is the part where you can die if you're not paying attention to your health, because everything does a ridiculous amount of damage. Happened to me once. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this so it doesn't happen to me again. I haven't died at the scorpions yet. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it was a possibility. One thing I wanted to test is whether refresh fills up spawn slots like coins and projectiles do. Because if it does, I wonder if it can also open up spawn slots. Like you could kill something, use refresh while it's dying, and then the refresh bite disappears. Okay, so we have enough experience. Water sword, because the water sword allows you to kill mummies. There should be an eyeball somewhere near here. I want to equip this. So that is the only boss in the game that doesn't have invincibility frames when you hit him, so you just mash. Oh no, that's not good. That was rude. Also rude. So I don't have to kill anything else, except for bosses and tower enemies. But I do gotta hope that I don't die. Here's the kitty cat bosses. kill with these special bows. I'm just gonna dodge all of these guys. And really, I should have killed less scorpions and then killed these guys. It speeds it up a little bit, but not enough to really warrant much concern. So I'm not trying to hyper-optimize, I just set a goal and want to reach it. And then don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay. Now we're going to equip the Bow of Truth. We're going to let this guy hit us. And that slightly gives you a chance, like slightly improves the chance that you'll get a good pattern like this. Do it again. Yes, one cycle is very good. We're going to unequip this because there's a glitch with the opal statue. If you have the opal statue equipped, for whatever reason, Thunder Sword's level 3 will not work. And now here's some RNG that can make or break my run. Keep walking to the right, please. This is a good pace. Probably should have waited to kill that guy at the same time, but whatever. You're supposed to use Thunder on these guys. It's faster to use the sword swings if you can get it. I did not get it, so I'm just going to abandon that strategy entirely. Walk to the left, please. And those guys shoot projectiles so fast that they go through your barrier. So barrier doesn't even work. Okay. Don't hit me, don't hit me. Stop it. Please keep walking to the left. That would be fantastic. Nope. Oh, that sucks. Almost had a perfect pattern on those guys. So let's get both of these guys. I forget if the swords on the right of, or the stairs are on the right or the left. They're on the left. Okay. So it's not going to be a 54, but I think this might be. This might be sub 56. I've only got 17 mana, but I think I only need 6 for this end boss. This is not a end boss to let home without. That's it. He's done. And all right, that was good. That was really good. That was really good. Okay, so I got the sub 56, so I think I'm done with this category. Whoops. Now we get to watch the ending. Thank you for the GG, Jove. So I lost about a second, so 54 is definitely possible without too much improvement. During the Carmine, or the Mato section, the second one, falling off of that thing twice was awful. So it cost me about a minute. Almost all of the time that I had built up to that point was gone there. But I saved the minute and a half I lost on Dyna. I was still on 57 pace up to there. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm not too concerned about getting the 54 minutes. Someone else can get the 54 if they really want it, but no one's run this in like 3 years. I mean, Dragon Dark might, because he has first in any percent, and he has first in 100%. But if he didn't run this yet, I don't see why he even run it. It would be neat if he found some improved routing though. Because I just did this over the course of like, what, 4 days? 5 days? I think 4 days. And now that floating tower in the sky is gone. The story for this game is weird. Apparently the Earth's axis tilts and that mutates everyone, and the people left create a tower in the sky but leave 2 people on Earth in stasis pods, and then you're one of them and you wake up and then you have to go and destroy the tower because one of the guys on Earth wants to use the tower. That's the story. It's pretty odd even for an NES game.